Good morning. Thank you, Pastor, for giving us a chance to come share what God has done, especially a few months in my life. I've been blessed. And I can't believe that I got there last time I met Pastor, I was bragging. And I can't believe my baby's already 3 weeks old. Time do fly really fast. So today I wanted to share a little bit about myself. And I'm originally from Pakistan. And I am married. Been married for 3 years and I have 2 kids now. And I can't believe that I never thought I would say that I missed my college time when I was single running around and I could get ready and I would be out of the door within seconds. And now I have to drag 3 people with me. So I'm so sorry if I was late this morning, but I am so really hopeful that you guys gave me a chance to come share what God has done in my life. And then tell you a little bit bits and pieces, but because of the time, I was persecuted in Pakistan because of my faith. Because I confess that Jesus Christ is my Savior. It was not me, but grace of God. I don't think that I was worth of that. As Pastor earlier said, it's not my work, it's not me, it's my God who has enough for me, the love that never put limitation or never say that, if I do this and that's when I will be with Him. I know that His love was before I was born. He gave His only beloved Son for me. And I don't think so I could say that word when I was a teenager. But 2002 this happened to me. And I was born, excuse me, by the mom too, So he is just, I don't know, as soon the doctor took him out and the nurse she cleaned him up. I had a C-section, and then they handed my husband that baby, and they put him on that little cot thing. Baby could not stand there. He wanted his dad to hold him. So Daddy was holding him, and then Daddy tried to put him on the cot again. As soon as he laid the baby in there, he didn't want him to be in that cot. So my husband said, you shouldn't hold him down often because he will get used to it. Well, he was already used to it. Getting carried around for 9 months. I was asked Pastor Jeff how miserable I was. I could barely walk that day.
She was so miserable.
Thank you for help. But where I was, sorry. When I was in Pakistan, I was born in Christian family's house. I was raised in a Christian family's house. But when you're a teenager, you are miserable. I used to go to church. I did all those things that as a Christian my mom used to do it. And in my life, I knew that I believed in Jesus. I used to wear a cross. That cross was given to me by my grandfather. And a lot of people wear that for jewelry. For me, it had reason. The reason was as my grandfather said to me, he said, this cross is not just a jewelry. This cross meaning is that He had given His last breath so you can breathe today. And every time I used to feel that cross on my neck, around my neck, I remember that word, and I used to say, thank you, Jesus, for giving me chance to live. So you died for me. And in Pakistan and many Islamic countries, you know, Christian people do not have freedom at all. And here I am not today here to share, I'm here to share what God has done in my life. I'm not here to create a hatred. You know, the meaning of what being a Christian and living like a Christian is two different things. For me, since this happened to me, He gave me a life to live for Him. And for this life, meaning is not to create hatred. This life is to live for Christ and live like a Christ. He did not have to die on the cross. He did it so I could look up and say, you know what? If He did for me, it's my time to do it for others. And be example of Christianity. I do not have any religion. I don't believe I have a religion. I don't call Christianity a religion. If you see it that way, it's a relationship. Do anybody force you to be who you are? Do anybody force you to come here and sit in this church today? Did anybody force you to read Bible, do this? If they do, this means they don't have a love of Christ. If somebody do this. But if you do it free will, this is what was given to me freely. And that's why I believe that He passed it on. Because everybody deserves to have that, what I have. And when I was in Pakistan, I did not have that freedom. But yet I choose to live who I am. I choose to live in Christian faith. And my choice did put me to the place where I faced death not once, not twice, 3 times. And then I was asked, this happened to me at my workplace, and I was asked by the person, he was a customer. I worked in a telephone, as a telephone operator, and when the customer came in the office and he saw a cross on my neck, and I was one of those people who never fit in the box. And Pastor Cecil figured out my husband is still learning. I don't think so he's gonna learn. It's gonna take a long time before I get him to train to learn that he never gonna see me in that box, because I'm not one of those people. I never did. I always said, women don't have to do this. Women don't have to do this. In Pakistan, in many Islamic countries, women have to cover their head, do this, that. But I was not one of those people. I never followed rule. Other words, that I don't follow rule that good. So when that man saw me and he saw a cross on my neck, and he asked me, he said, "Are you a Christian?" And I said, "Yes, sir, I am a Christian." And he told me, he said, "You don't look like a Christian. In their point of view, if you are a Christian, your skin should be darker, you should be different than Muslim people, because they always look everybody down." That's the first point of Islam is, everybody is less than they are. And when he asked me, he said, and I told him, "Yes, I am a Christian." And he told me, he said, "You don't look like a Christian. You should change to Islam. If you change to Islam, you will have everything." And I told him, I said, "I have everything." And he told me, he said, everybody will love you. Everybody will, if you change to Islam, everybody will treat you like a queen. And he put some money on the table, and he said, "Take all this money and everybody will support you." And I told him, I don't want to be that dumb queen beaten to death every single day. Because under Islam, women are treated less than dog or donkey. If women pass in front of man who is praying, and then he has to restart his prayer because they think that it's not accepted because women pass in front of the man. That's how value women have under the Islam. And so when he told me, and I told him I don't want him to be beaten to death every single day because that's what they do to women under Islam. And he told me, he said, I'm trying to save your soul. And he told me, he said, you're living life in the gutter and you're going to go to hell and you are in darkness. Life in the gutter means most of the Christian people, they don't get access to higher paying job, they don't get access to education, or they also don't get access to good jobs either. Most of the Christians, they get jobs like sweeping or cleaning the sewer system or working in the fields outside or working in Muslim people's houses in the as a servant. So that's what he meant by that I was living life in a gutter. And I told him, I said, I am happy who I am. And he told me, he said, if you change to Islam, I'm giving you a chance to, have a better life. And I'm trying to save your spirit. And I told him, my spirit is saved. And he told me, so you're living in the darkness. And I told him, I believe that I am living in light. And he told me, so do you think Islam is in darkness? I told him, you said so. And he put more money on the table and he told me, he said, take all this money and if you change to Islam, I will support you again and your family. And you work for so little money. And I told him, God gave me 2 hands and 2 feet for a reason. I can support myself and my family. I don't need anybody's support. So then he tried everything, and when nothing worked, he tried to grab me and he tried to rape me. In Pakistan and many Islamic countries, if women don't listen to them, they force girls like that way. So I pushed him and I slapped him and I told him, I am a woman, but I am not weak. And I picked up his money and I threw at his face and I told him, you need to leave. And he kept repeating these words. He said, I'm trying to save your soul. And I told him, my soul is saved. And he said, I'm giving you last chance. And I told him, I said, you need to leave before you lose your last chance. I am short, I know, I'm not big, whatever you can say. But I can handle people really well. So I've been telling my husband, don't even try to push or something, because I can handle really well, and you are taller than me. But he's nice. I have black belts in martial arts. He don't want to mess with me right now. So after that, the man left, and about 30 or 40 minutes later, came back. In Pakistan, if you have money, you can buy anything. Nobody gonna stop you. So the man came back with the acid, and he brought the acid, and I was still waiting for my boss, and he threw acid on me like that, and I was by myself, and this side was burnt, and then when I was still my body suddenly started smoking, and I ran toward the door, and there was a second man behind him, and the second man who was accompanying him, he was not there at the first time, so he came back and with him, and when I ran toward the door, and the second man came, and he helped me down, and he threw me on the floor, and he was holding my hair, and the first man was pouring acid into my throat. And they were yelling, they said they're going to destroy the mosque, said no to Islam. 67% of my esophagus were damaged. This cheek melted off and it fell in front of my feet. I did not have any cheek. They reconstructed my face. I have 34 plus surgeries, and because of the acid attack. And my surgeries was not like one small surgery. My surgery used to be like 10 different places and at one time. And they said that I will never be able to see again. I was totally blind for my both eyes, and the doctor said also that I will never be able to speak again. And in the first place, they said I will never survive. And again, I'm nothing. It's only His grace. It's only Him that I am here today. People say that miracle did happen. I see miracle every single day in my life. My first son was a miracle. My second son was it's blessing that how much He loves you every second of your life, that He will show you that I am here. We are the one who let Him leave Him by the church door. He wanted to go with us every single place in our life. So after that attack, they left me there for dying, and some people they took me. I'm going to try to move forward really fast. So some people they took me to the hospital, and police came and they tried to arrest those people. Some people did caught those two men, and the police came and they asked, "Why did you do it?" They said she had insulted Islam. She had said that Muslim people are going to go to hell and they're living in darkness. Well, he told me that I was living in the darkness, and I told him, I believe I am living in light. And he said that, you said, so you think that Islam is in darkness? And I told him, you said so. Because I don't believe that you have any right to degrade anybody or anybody's religion, because I don't have religion, I have relationship. But Jesus was not to put people down. He did not came to put people down. He came so He could lift people up. And that's what, as a Christian, that's what my job to this day. So afterward, when police asked them, and they said that I have insulted Islam, instead of arresting them, police joined with those hands. And all the people who were standing by and who caught those men, they wanted me to be dead. And so after the people who took me to the hospital, they found out they wanted me to be dead too. They told the hospital, if you treat her, we will set the hospital on fire. So the hospital told until that time my family was there too. So the hospital told my parents that they're not going to put other people's life in risk for me. So they didn't want me to treat me. My family took me to the second hospital. They said the same thing. The third hospital, and my mom begged the doctor and said, please help her. And the doctor told my mom, she's gonna die anyway, there is no point. My mom said she's still breathing. And so somehow she backed him, she did everything. And then after finally the God did melt his heart, and he said, okay, we will do something for her. So every single morning my parents were told by doctor that she's gonna die today. She's gonna die today. Until 21 days later, I was pronounced dead. And after, hearing, I could not speak, I could not see, but I could hear every single day. And every single day, the Muslim nurses in the hospital, the way of their romantic toward me was that they used to put honey on my wound, and also they bandage the dressing. They used to pull the old bandages. They used to rip those bandages off of my face, my arm, my all the places that was needed dressing, and used to the flesh is. I'm sorry. Piece of flesh came with that bandages, and they used to punish me. And every single morning I said, God, give me strength enough so they can see that you are here with me, that you are not dead. Jesus showed them. And every single morning I have more strength than the last day. And I never cried. I never begged them for mercy. And I did beg for mercy, only the one who could give me that strength. And every morning they were furiated that why she's not giving up. I used to hear them say some stuff against me. I was not able to speak, but I could hear them. And every time they said negative thing, I said, God, slap them on their face by giving me strength. And He did. Every single day until 21 days later, I was pronounced dead. And 15 minutes and 33 seconds later, God gave me life again. And after, I'm sorry I'm moving forward, but so afterward, some people found out what happened. They wanted me to be dead. So they started coming with the guns and stuff. And my family took me to the other hospital, the fourth hospital. That's where I was treated when I was fully awake. And that's where one of the doctors who gave me poison. And the doctor said, if I change to Islam, he will pay for my treatment and he will do everything for me from his pocket. And I told him, for a girl, their beauty is everything. I didn't do it when I have everything. What makes you think I will do it now? And that's the same doctor who saw me having voice again. And that's the same doctor who saw that I could see again. 3 months and 17 days later, I was able to see and speak again. My parents said she will never survive. The doctor told them that she will never survive. And if she survived, she will never be able to speak or see again or use her hand, because this arm, you could see my bones, and this was a skin drop, and they used my leg muscles to do surgery over here, and both hand was like that, and they said she will never be able to use her hand. She will be handicapped the rest of her life. And then I was pronounced dead. I asked him, I don't want you to be living like handicapped. I just want a one-day voice, then take me. So I can tell the truth that you take me. But he did not multiply one time to bless me, but he multiplied 1,000 times. He gave me my hand back. My both hands I could use. I could speak again. I could see again. So after that, the doctor, instead of being, after seeing that, instead of, being happy for me, he was so mad at me. And he thought it was insult to Islam. So that's the same doctor who gave me poison. And so my family took me to the 5th hospital. That's where they washed my stomach. And 2 weeks, I was in coma for 2 weeks. And 2 weeks later, I woke up again. And then 2003, I was shot. One bullet went through here, broke skin here, and then broke some skin here. And second bullet went through here, got out of here. And they thought I was dead. Well, I think God don't have enough Tylenol. Figure out how to deal with the headache, so he kept sending me back because I talk too much. So afterward, they found out that I was still not dead after that gunshot and all that. So the Muslim people wanted me to be hanged, and by law they can do that. It's what is it? I forgot. It's called blasphemy, something. I try not to remember those kind of things. So anyway, they wanted me to be hanged, and that's when Christian bishop got involved, and when Shiner Hospital in Galveston and some other people like you from the United States, they got involved and they helped me to come here. And I am then from Pakistan, and I saw my parents after 14 years. In February they came here, and they were not able to even attend my wedding. And my husband, he's from Pakistan too, he's a Christian too. His life, God have this gift that as well, his family and God brought him into my life really to miracle way. But going through all that, yet I did not hate Muslim. Other day, me and Pastor Cecil met with one gentleman, and he said, I hate them before, but now I hate them more listening to you. I said, well, I wouldn't say that, because he said, don't you hate them? I said, no, I don't hate them. Because what is the difference between me and them? Well, they are Muslim, and I am a Christian. I follow Jesus, they follow Muhammad. Muhammad killed, and Jesus died for us. So I said, that's the difference. We should be example of Christ. After I've been in this, I traveled a lot. I have spoken over 360 something churches and groups and places, and I traveled all over the United States. It's not what I wanted to tell. I wanted anybody's sympathy. I don't. When people say, I'm so sorry, I'm not sorry. I am blessed that He has chosen me in a young age, and I believe my scar is my jewel. Every single morning when I get up and I see myself in a mirror, I see that Jesus never left me. As He said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. He kept His promise over and over. And in my life, He kept it every single time I needed. Every time I thought, is that end? That's where I saw Him standing, and He opened the door that I never thought He would. And He picked me up from the death, and He gave me life over and over again. I was told I would never be able to have a baby. I twice have a cancer. I'm twice cancer survivor. And doctors had told me I'll never be able to have a child. Well, 2012 they told me, and 2014 I got married. And I got married in March 8th, and March, on March 18th I went to Tennessee. I was speaking, and I was so busy over there. And one day I was standing on the stage, and my head was going like this. And people, I see two faces. One person looked like same twin sitting there. It's like, what's wrong with me? I couldn't figure out. I told my husband, I think I've been busy so much. I have not rested enough. So that's why it might be. So I came home on the 24th, and my brother-in-law's anniversary, and we went to Golden Club, and all the food smells was so gross. I was like, what's wrong with me? I could not figure out. And I wanted to throw up, but they were eating, and I was looking at them, and I was like, oh my God. I couldn't handle it. I was like, what's wrong with me? And so I told my husband, let's stop by the Walmart. So let's get tests just for curiosity. I know I won't be able to pounds. And I tested that night, and I was sitting in the bedroom and I was crying. And my husband said, "What's wrong?" I was like, "I'm going to find the doctor and wring the doctor's neck." I did not know I was happy or mad, or I did not know that. But they told me, "Oh, you're pregnant." When I went to the doctor, and then later on they said I won't be able to carry him for 30 weeks. I carried him 39 weeks. And the second one, they said, on the 4-month screening, they said he will have a Down syndrome. And the doctor told me that I need to consider my other option. And the doctor was, explaining all the stuff, how to other option. I told the doctor, please don't complete the sentence, because this is my baby. No matter what my baby's gonna have, God will make a mistake. And for sure, God will not make a mistake. Every time for 5 months, I was told every single day that this baby gonna have this. And they told me my 8-month scan, they said his head is not growing right. Well, his head is perfectly round now. They said he had a big dent and he came out perfectly normal. And the other day I went to the doctor and I wanted to take him to the place they did the scan. And it's not that I was proud or anything. I wanted to show them what God is. And I took the baby to the doctor, radiologist, and the sonographer. And I said, "Look, here is the Micah. And I want you guys to see him in person. You saw him black and white." And she was like, I said, "Remember, that's the one supposed to have T21? Well, look at this, baby. I told you my God don't make a mistake. It's not me. It's His grace to glorify His name." And that day, the lady who did the ultrasound every single time, she was there. And she started, her tears started coming out. She was crying, and she had a goosebump. And she said, watching your faith, gave me reason to believe there is God. I knew there was God, but I was never called myself a Christian. And she said, I was going through the path that now, today, your son, looking at you and your son and your faith, today I am thinking that I need that God desperately. And she was crying. You could see how desperate that person was. And I was so humble. God, use my son. This 12-year-old baby to change somebody's life. This was the best moment of my life. And I think my faith that day, I think I can move on with my faith. And when I heard what Pablo in April, and even though I was doing the ministry full time in the past, but listening to Pablo, they gave me a reason. They gave me the reason God gave me when I was pronounced dead to live for Him. Those people come, I cannot go back to Pakistan. I cannot tell them what Jesus did for me, what He have given me. They are coming to my home, my country, our backyard. We can share love of Christ. And we can, they have this bad picture about Christianity. We can show them that this is a Jesus. And by inviting them to our sewing classes, because how many people believe that if you invite some a Muslim person to church, well, they will come to church service. Not even one person. But if you invite them for sewing class or for anything, like cooking class or driving license course or something like that how to get all those stuff, you can invite them, and that's when you can show them of Christ. As Pastor said, they will ask you, why are you doing this? That's when your moment say, because I believe in Jesus. And that's why I do, because that's the love of Christ. And that's why even all this happened to me, but they wanted me to be changed. Yes, they did change me. Not the way they wanted me to be changed, the way Jesus wanted me to be living life. And I think this happened so I could be a better person. And I never regretted for 1 second of my life. God had blessed me over and over with all His blessing, His presence in my life. And I am in peace. I never have regret of anything. And working with Pablo, it gave me great opportunity to share the same peace because they don't have what we have. And one other thing, don't let go your faith dies because people do die for their faith. And persecution is not in the United States. Persecution is all over the world. And you need to see that how blessed you are, count your blessing every single day. Because when you start looking back to what He have done for you, that's when you will see how blessed you are. Because every single day I see His presence in your life. And all of us have a scar. Some of us have outside, some of us have inside. But inside is Jesus can heal. The outside, He can deal with it. And I do request you, please keep me in your prayers. Even though I started, I had a meeting that day on the 30th, and the people over there, I went to speak in one place, and they were like, "You just had a baby and you are running around and you are driving around." And I said, "It's only God gave me strength." So please keep us in your prayers. And Pastor Sissel have been, wonderful mentor, friend, co-worker. I don't treat him like a co-worker anyway. He is the best person to be around. And keep him and his family in prayer. As well, keep Pablo in your prayers. And please do consider whatever way God leads you to support Pablo with your prayer and finances so we can carry on our, not our work, but God's work, and His will be done in this country and on those people's life. Thank you, Pastor, and thank you, everybody, for your time. I do have my cards to adopting a missionary to support Pablo. So if you want, and I have some of the stuff over here if you are interested, please, you can ask me any questions.